Jump, man. That boy's up to something. We rolling?
Yep.
All right, cool. 51. What's up, everybody? This is Anthony.
Matt.
This is Ask Amp episode 51. Question and answer show. We take your questions that you put down below in the doobly-doo, and then we answer them, and we wonder why we have jobs. But anyways, yeah, it's a question and answer show. We're going to bring back the normal segments that we've been putting in these recently. So for this one, you're going to get, it's not a live show this time, so you don't have to worry about that. But that way we can try to keep this sub like 3 hours.
It attempts to. We'll see how that rolls. But today we're hanging out back at the storefront. We actually haven't been here in a while.
Been busy.
A lot of the local people and stuff, they've kind of cleaned it up inside, moved some stuff around. So if you haven't stopped in the past couple months, definitely do so.
Definitely, actually. It's
lots
very
of cool stuff.
The in-store dudes have done a really, really fine job cleaning up and making it look nice, and I like it. They painted the walls, they put new light bulbs in, they rearranged all the product.
It's fancy.
It looks good. But anyways, go ahead and grab one. To be fair, these are printed on bigger font.
I printed at 14 instead of 12 on accident. My bad.
Okay, so Drew Hardy. Hey, Amp, love the show. You guys are honest and fly straight. Not many people do that anymore. Plus, your reviews made me drop my LM4 and get a Tippmann. Anyway, what is your opinions on Tippmann's M4s being shoved in the same category as other HPA with electronics, like the Polar Star and the S&P? Here in California, they're being less scrutinized, but still get a fair amount of hate since apparently the HPA hate thing started out here. I bought it because it provides much of the benefits of HPA without the issues of batteries and FCUs. Second, do you have any suggestions on tapping the upper receiver of the TDC hop-up mod learned about from the Tippmann owners group, or do you know of any ghetto fixes that work just as well? It's shooting decently far, 250 feet or so. That's really good, actually. But shot-to-shot consistency isn't great. Would love to hear your suggestions. Hashtag love the game, hashtag long live the Tippmann, and hashtag HPA master it.
Is that actually 250 feet? Or your mine's 250 feet?
I would actually get it to measure out first and see exactly how well it is or isn't performing.
Yeah.
And then adjust from there. As for tapping it, I don't like to do any modifications to any guns that permanently change parts of the gun in such a way that it can't be reverted back to its original state. So, like, with me, like, I don't like using any mods that tap receivers or do things like that. Like, for example, like, I don't like doing mods to gun bodies and stuff that make it so that it can never be returned to its original state of function, because what if I don't want it anymore? Then I just have either a pile of parts that I can't sell or something like that. So what I would look into getting is, I would try out, if you go find the 3D printed nubs from like Shapeways or other 3D printing places, I would try...
Not Shapeways, it's something else.
Whatever the other one is.
Same exact thing, but yeah.
You can look those up in the Tippmann owners group as well. I would try that first.
Yeah.
And then if your last resort without a decent barrel bucking and then that new drop-in nub that's from a 3D printed thing, if none of that fixes your stuff, then like use the tapping thing as a last result.
He could also look at yours and Biggs' original spring.
The spring mod. The spring mod was hilarious because it made it shoot so well, but it was the dumbest thing to do ever.
To be fair, you could technically combine that with the 3D printed nub.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted like mad pressure on the thing, you could combine the two, which could really yield good results too. I don't know.
So the HPA hate. Okay, so here's the deal. The problem is this. HPA started over on the East Coast with companies like Polar Star, and then Wolverine later on, and Vulcan on also the East Coast, and Wolverine's in like Kentucky. So it's mostly East Coast guys.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Tennessee or Kentucky? Tennessee, I think you're right. And we over here on the East Coast have had more time to learn about the different safety issues and like how to build, and also what rule sets should be applied to these systems in order to make them safe for everyone to use. Because much like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. That's the second time I've used that line today.
I feel like I'm having deja vu with this entire conversation right now.
But
we literally had this earlier today.
But like, so like the thing is that, you know, like on the West Coast, they really haven't, like, I wouldn't say less advanced, because that's not really like the right way to word that. But what I would say is that they haven't had as many of the growing pains with HPA as we have earlier. So now they're just now starting to run into like more of these systems getting into people's hands, more people abusing what they are potentially doing. And to be fair, manufacturers are also kind of feeding into that because they're making these systems being able to do those types of things because they can use those as selling points on a bullet list to sell products. I mean, it would be very easy for Polar Star, Wolverine, or ProTech to easily just go and then just turn off a full auto function so that you have a completely semi-auto only gun. It would be incredibly easy for them to do that. But because it adds a bulleted point for sales, and then you can adjust the rate of fire and all that stuff, and people love to be able to do dumb things with things that they don't need to do. Like, that's half the reason why I own half the crap that I own. I don't need it's not a reason. I just like doing dumb things with it. So it's so much as like you're getting lumped in with that because you're going through that in that area, the growing pains that like the East Coast has already done. And so it kind of sucks, to be fair, especially with a Tippmann, because you're getting lumped in with guns that you just can't do some of the things that they do. Like, you can't run 70 rounds a second.
On a Tippmann?
No. You'll be lucky if you get 18. You'll be really stoked if you get 18 out of a Tippmann. So,
if you get the auto to work.
Yeah, our auto doesn't work. So, like, you know, it just is what it is. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you, but
I feel like we're just jaded on the whole auto thing.
Yeah, I don't ever use full auto. None of my guns are set up for full auto. All of my guns are semi and then semi. Because we play a lot of CQB and we go to a lot of national ops and different companies have different rules and it's just easier to just turn that off and just not deal with it. So I don't start fights then.
Yeah. Philip, you guys have mentioned multiple times how particular you are about only loading 100 BBs at a time into a mag. I think that's a fantastic idea for the reasons you mentioned. What I would like to know is how you go about doing that in a timely manner. Hopefully not using a thumb loader. Yes, we use a thumb loader.
Pistol speed loaders, dude.
They're right around 100 rounds, and they're small and easy to carry on like any kit.
Okay.
And like, to be fair, like all the new speed loaders are really cool, but that's just not my thing. Like if I'm in I've never had the need to reload mags
in a game
in like a necessary time when it was like, oh, if I don't get this mag loaded in 5 seconds, they're going to come up the stairs and shoot me. I've never been in that situation, as in, I like, a big thing with like indexing your mags and knowing where you're at is not getting into those situations in the first place, like,
or knowing how many mags you need.
Yeah, or if you end up doing something where like you get into an Alamo,
an MSW, you only need 5 mags.
Or you get into a thing where it's like an Alamo and that you will make your last stand there. It's like, well,
come get me.
I'm just gonna go down with whatever mags I have left.
Yeah, come get me.
And then, you know, like I can. Thumb loaders aren't slow. They're not the fastest thing, but they're.
You want to know what's really funny about thumb loaders? I still use the very first thumb loader that I ever got free with my GMP from when I very first started playing. But I have broke every other brand of bigger, higher speed loader. The little ones don't break unless you step on them or run them over with a car. They just don't break. Like, as long as you're just like, oh, I didn't step on this, that still works.
I have 2 TM pistol loaders that are about 10 years old right now. And I've gone through, over those 10 years, in, like, the parts where I was like, oh, I need to carry more. I got 2 or 3 of the TM M16 loaders, 2 or 3 of the KWA ones, and a couple other off-brand ones. All of those have broken at some point, so...
Yeah, the pistol ones just don't break, and they're cheap.
Yeah.
You get a decent one, like I have a TM one and a GMP one. And they don't, and a UTG one actually. And
I have a UTG too.
And they don't break. I'm sorry, man.
UTG is actually the strongest one. Like the spring on there is like bam.
Like, and that's why we only load 100 rounds, because literally, like, if you flip the door open and fill it all the way to the top, and you can barely close the door, that's like 105, 110 rounds.
Yeah. So
that's why that's how we do it.
I mean, again, that's just our style.
It takes a little longer to load your mags, probably about an extra 5 minutes. But I'm gonna be real honest with you.
I was like, 5 minutes for one mag? Jesus.
I'm like total. But to be honest with you, I think it's far more worth it to do 100 rounds per mag and keep your investment safe by not destroying your mags than it is to just go.
And the other thing is
like pump it full. Now, if you don't mind buying new mags constantly or buying replacement springs or doing whatever, then get the big speed loaders and smash your crap. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of the newer ones have like the clutches and stuff in them, but even then, like when you're cranking, you like once you get to the end and you try to do that, like get those last couple rounds.
I broke one of our hex mags from the shop by using one of the Odin speed loaders because I just filled it up too much and then it broke it. It literally knocked the feed tube. Like
that one that now has a staple in it?
Yeah, it broke that all out. And it's just good from overloading it.
I split an Elite Force mag. I forget what loader it was, but it
I
just
split
like,
an Elite.
nah.
It just like
it was just nah.
split in half.
That
So,
fun.
yeah, that's fine. OP Airsoft, what's up, guys? Love the show. So my question is, what do you think of half-day players? I have a few in my team, and it sucks. We come there as a team. He's from Germany, so this is going to be a little rough for me to read. I'm sorry. There are 3 people, including probably himself. They play the whole day, and, like, it sucks. Who wants to join a team like that? And sometimes I say, and then they whine and find excuses. Okay, so what do you think of, like, dudes who don't follow through on playing the entire day?
My biggest thing is this is a hobby. You spend your hopefully hard-earned money. Maybe you stole it. Who knows where you get your money from? But
Privilege.
Moving past that part.
Privilege, you know.
Dom, the Beamer's over there. My biggest thing is that it is a hobby, and you're not required or forced to do anything in it besides, like follow generic rules and all that stuff. But as in regards to how you go about when and where you play, that is completely up to you. That's the glory of it being a hobby, is you do what makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's not a sport.
So dudes like us,
You're not required to play a set number of periods.
yeah.
Or
So dudes like us, a lot of the guys at the shop, a lot of our friends, we're like, to us, fun is not quitting. To other dudes, they just want to go out for 4 hours, shoot thousands of rounds, and they're good, and they go home. I mean, it depends. Like, it's fine for everybody. Like, that's
yeah,
why
like
you
my
get so
thing
many
is,
variants of
well,
everything.
like my thing is like, it only.
Hi, Dom.
I just waited for Bauer to order a pizza for 3 hours, man. Like, he called the pizza place 3 times trying to order a goddamn pizza. 3 times.
Bye.
Bauer can't order pizza.
I love you.
So
my thing is, okay, like, it only bothers me when people fail to meet the commitments that they say they're going to do with you. So it's one thing if you all have an agreed upon, like, yes, we're going to stay all day, we're going to play, and we're all going to stick together, and we're all going to have fun, and then they leave you hanging.
Yeah.
That sucks. But at the end of the day, there's no
What's up,
requirement
bud?
for them to stay.
What are you guys talking about?
We're doing Ask Amp, so I mean,
Battle Buddies?
here,
full question.
there you go.
I need to escape from in there. Bauer for a second.
Ready?
Oh, Tyre Rother. That was a fun and funny broadcast. You guys should do more live me stuff. I enjoyed asking questions. You guys doing a live me right now?
Yeah, we do one.
Not
we
right
do,
now. We did one.
We
last
do
week.
one.
Sorry.
We do one a week.
That's all I got.
You'll know.
Aw, poor
here,
Dom.
Here, I'll get you another one.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I need an actual
Give him a
question.
small one.
Oh, Jesus. My brain's already
It's 14 font, dude. It's not actually that
Yeah,
big.
I printed really big.
Philip.
That's Philip again.
Ah,
Philip.
Phil. He must be the first Philip ever on YouTube.
Probably. Just played my first game with my HPA setup. I found that the 1-point sling that attaches to my sling plate is a disaster with the line. Backpack straps and chest rig straps all fighting to control my gun's destiny. Could you do a Plug Pro video on how to set up your slings to not interfere with your HPA rigs? Or if my IQ level is too low, and this is a problem only I experience, at least some tips from your experience on making a sling less invasive with the HPA setup. I don't know, man. I use that LBX sling. and
I
it's
use a
good.
2-point sling.
The 2-point slings are solid. I think that's the best.
I carry rifles the way I carried them in the military,
Yeah.
because the big thing is that you need to be able to have your weapon with you all the time, but whenever you need to go hands off of your weapon to do stuff, you need something that's non-evasive that doesn't bind you up. So the most simple, easiest way to carry a weapon when you need to go hands-free is a 2-point sling. It's literally just 2 points, like attaches on 2 points of your gun, and it has a pad. The one that all of us at the shop use, which we're probably going to do an Honest Guys review on, is
Why not?
the LBX 2-point sling. I love the LBX 2-point
it's so
sling.
good. It really.
It's cheap.
I haven't broken it yet.
I haven't messed it up yet. It uses all really nice hardware. It's all really nice fabric. It's all licensed multicam,
It's
Ranger.
comfortable,
It's
like,
comfortable
yeah.
and padded. It's a 2-point sling, and then the best thing is like, what I'll do is when I'm like moving around, I'll have it just kind of loosely around my neck, and then I'll be walking with it, and then whenever I need to use both hands, I'll just slide this hand through,
Yeah.
let it hit my chest, and then guess what? Now I have both hands free,
Yeah.
and it's just slung across
Plus,
my body.
I
And
think-
literally, and all I have to do is just go hand on, and then just go like that, and then I'm back on it again.
Besides pushing him to get a new product, I think did he say what line he had.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he has it out the back if it's giving him that much issues.
I just think it's just in general what it is that newer HPA players, they have this battle where they don't know how they want to run all their stuff yet. So what I would suggest is if you aren't already, if you don't have a very flexible line, switch to a more flexible line. Whether you want to get ours or get a competitor's, I mean, that's your prerogative. Obviously, I'm going to tell you to get ours because I want to eat more than just ramen.
I was like, who else is there?
But I would run it over your shoulder instead of under your arm so it doesn't dangle. And then on top of that, like I said, I would switch out your sling setup for more of a 2-point style. So if you're guys that are running like MS2s and 3s, just get like an RSA sling plate, disconnect it from the 1-point style, and then just connect it to the front of your gun. And then run it as a 2-point sling. It's way easier to carry your rifle around on a 2-point sling.
That's also the issue with the 1 points is like if you're playing a game for an extended period of time and having a 1 point is like not very comfortable. Like having a 2 point, especially for the LBX, you can just tighten it too, and it's just like sits.
Yeah,
on
literally,
your
I can grab a strap on my LBX and just go, zip, and then the thing is like locked to me.
Got me away from the 1 point because I ran a couple of them different ways, and I loved them. To be fair, like I'm not gonna trash talk 1 points, but the biggest thing to me was, especially when you started doing longer term things, didn't matter what length rifle I had. I had like the KWA CQR. It's like a 10-inch barrel.
Yeah, a little short
and
guy.
it would constantly hit me like in between my like pant leg and the knee pad, on top of my knee, like in my thighs, because you can't
1-point
cinch a
slings
weapon
are
down.
very, very terrible for having to do things with your hands. They're very great if you have a gun,
But if you do
you're doing something and you're like, I need to switch to a sidearm or do something very quickly, you can throw it off to the side,
Yeah.
draw your sidearm and
They're
go.
very good at
But they're terrible if you need to put a ruck on
yeah.
and just walk around or go do a thing with your hands or climb a ladder or do anything
you're
that's
doing,
like not
like, If you're
pewing.
doing a lot more games where you're just shooting, you could still stick with it, because they're also better for like switching shoulders, because all you gotta do is pop the stock up, over, and down. 2 points, sometimes you gotta undo it. Like I probably look like a turd in videos, like whenever I come up on stuff, because I just have the sling around my neck. I'm like, take the sling off, then I switch shoulders very like
It depends
slowly.
on how tight I'm running it. If I run
Yeah.
it loose, I literally just pop the one arm out, and then I'll just switch
Yeah.
with the sling still wrapped around my neck, and I'll do whatever. But like, yeah, dude, like that's what I would
I
suggest.
mean, basically his options are find a different way to run the line, or
Yeah.
he could buy an LBX sling, which is 2 point, or you might want to look at the Magpul MS slings, because like
You can switch
you
between
can switch
2 point and
between
1
2
point.
So
Yeah.
you can get best of both worlds if you really like your 1 point.
You can also look at the Wraith if you want to get rid of the Wraith or CO2 stocks, or an air stock if you want to get rid of the line entirely. You can run
Yeah.
13 cubic inch air stock tanks and get about 1,000 rounds out of a Jack with that.
Yep.
Or you could do like a CO2 stock on a Wraith and, Wolverine and Jack products and stuff like that. You'll get about 200 rounds out of a CO2 cartridge.
Yeah.
You can do that too and just get rid of the line completely. I'm actually going to build, when the Wraith comes out, I'm going to rebuild my gun for like MSW type stuff and be tankless.
You have options.
So there you go. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do.
Sweet. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Whatever Minute. It's whatever. Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that showed up just recently to us. This is the Pantac XPC plate carrier, and this thing's pretty cool. So the guys at Pantac sent this over to us. They wanted us to kind of review it and stuff like that, so expect a more in-depth video coming from this very soon. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a preview on this bad boy. This thing is very interesting. There's a lot of features on this, so the video will go much more in depth to that, obviously. So I'm gonna hopefully get to run this at a couple games. This is a medium. We got it sized to me. Might not fit Anthony. So what I wanted to get from you guys is you can either post to our Facebook, comments down below on this one. Would you guys be interested in this? What we're kind of curious about is that this is actually a very high-end piece of gear. Like I said, you'll get to see that in the video once we get it out. But it's from a repro company. And the pricing actually doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. Very affordable, actually. So we wanted to know what you guys would think. Would you consider buying something like this? which actually has, like I said, plenty of options, but just to give you a little bit of a teaser, this one's multicam. You get all the attachments for your 1-inch ITW, so you can hook chest rigs and stuff to it. It has a kangaroo pouch. It has an optional JPC style cummerbund. All these extra buckle kits and stuff so you can add and adjust almost everything to it. It has Velcro on the inside for pontoons. It actually has built-in pontoons already. Plenty of Velcro and Molly real estate on it. So what we want to know is, what do you guys feel about this? You know, obviously you don't know too much about it, but what do you feel about the idea of it? Is this something you guys would purchase down the road? I know like there's a lot of guys, especially Anthony and myself again, that buy the real stuff. Wouldn't necessarily run something like this, but I'm going to try and run this for a while just to see what it's like. So we just want to know what you guys would think. Was this something you would buy, you would recommend to your friends? Would you buy something cheaper to save the money, or would you save up the money and buy the real stuff? Because to us, Paint and Tack really does kind of hit that middle ground pretty well, so we just want to hear what you guys would have to say. So look for a more in-depth overview of this coming soon. We'll get some cool footage of it, and hopefully we run it at some games for you guys. So back to the random questions.
Anarchy!
Vote third party.
CSN, Commie Soft North. All right. Your political opinions have earned even more respect from me. Jake Riley is a friend of mine, and he and I both enjoy Rust 4 Kit.
Cool.
It was a question from last time, I think? Yeah.
Yeah. It was about people giving them shit for wearing Rust 4 Kit, which is dumb.
I am, however, a little disappointed that you've disregarded the NATO-funded Nazi coup in Ukraine and the Russian support of East Ukraine freedom fighters. Is that a question?
I don't think that's a question. I don't know in what universe anybody's okay with funding Nazism.
When did the Nazis come into this?
Basically, right now, in the Ukraine, there is a small sect of Nazism that is working as like a kind of loosely affiliated militia with the Ukrainian government.
What about the shit coup from Turkey?
Oh, the shit coup from Turkey is shit coup. I'm actually
Shit coup.
Hashtag shit coup. If
They're gonna do it now. Fuck.
Right, okay, so that sounds like a thing that you're drinking a little too much of the Kool-Aid, man. Now, well,
What Kool-Aid?
whatever the conspiracy theories think that says that people are okay with funding, NATO as a whole is funding Nazism. I don't think that's really true. There's a lot of
To be fair,
people
even
in
the
NATO
Germans
countries.
would be the first ones to object to that one.
I
They'd
would
be like,
hope
no,
so.
no.
I would really hope so. Being a NATO country, being part of the voting group of NATO,
well.
because they're one
Let's
of the most
move past this one.
hashtag shit coup. I am on board with I am slightly on board with the weird conspiracy theorists that claim that the coup in Turkey was a fake coup, just so that way they could use it to oust a bunch of political dissidents in the country that were against the ruling party. I actually
see that.
Because they did. They grabbed 4,000 people. They arrested 4,000 people, and since it's considered treason, they're all up for the death penalty, man.
The funny thing, did you see the video going around? It was a bunch of...
It's terrible. That's really terrible.
It was the video of a bunch of airstrikes hitting things, and then at the end it was a bunch of dudes out on a porch shooting up into the sky. It looked very fake. It looked very it was all from security cameras, and it was dudes shooting up into the sky, but it seriously looked like CGI'd muscle flashes. Because the shit quality of a security camera,
yeah.
And you've seen these really well animated muzzle flashes and stuff. I was like, no, this make no sense. So,
but yeah,
let's move past.
I don't think
sense.
NATO is funding a Nazism.
Let's not comment on
in
this
Ukraine,
anymore.
because that would just be really dumb. That would be really dumb. I can
Amped episode 51 Nazi coup.
hashtag shit coup.
Coup.
Day. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hello, Amp. Greetings from Sweden. Yeah, that's why.
Makes
I'm
sense.
sorry. As one of the Milsim games I played at his water base, what would you recommend when it comes to a mechanical HPA, as I want to be able to swim with the gun? That sounds nuts. Also, since you were looking for weird camo and you said you liked M90 Splinter camo.
Hell yeah.
That's tempting, man. Give me a shout out if you're looking for it. Swim softing. Hardcore Swedes. That sounds really cool. The Mancraft is mechanical. They have a V2 drop-in unit that apparently we should be getting one in to test, and it looks really cool. I'm all about things that are consistent and easy to maintain.
Mechanical.
And it's
we
mechanical.
Currently have the SDIC or SDIK. I don't know how the proper nomenclature. We have one of those in now.
We're waiting for some parts to install that on something so we can test that.
Yeah, we need a new trigger for it, and then we have to gut one of our existing VSRs, but we are hopefully going to get that installed sometime soon and start getting some videos up on that.
Yeah.
And we, like you said, we have a V2 variant on the way, which I'm excited to see that.
I kind of am looking forward to that.
And it might be, he's in Sweden. Mancraft is what kind? Poland, I think. It'd probably be easier for you to get a Mancraft, but Tittman also has a very good run in Europe.
We
so
flooded the Tittman, like literally dropped it and left it in water for 5 minutes, then picked it up and started shooting it.
And the only thing
is as long as you don't
pressurize
it after it's wet. So if you hook it up, pressurize it,
and then go swimming,
you're
fine.
It's fine. But if you pressurize it after it's been in the water, it might make something pop, like some O-rings pop on the inside. So don't do that. Have it pressurized before you get in the water. That goes for the other one too. Have it pressurized before you get in the water.
Assuming if he's going swimming, he's going to do CO2, which would totally be fine too. Just don't hit your release because you might shoot a mag across out in the water.
I wonder if you.
No,
I would love to skip one.
From experience, I would say the Tittman would be a pretty cool one to try.
Yeah, either one. I think it'd be sweet.
Not necessarily.
Also, M90 camo is freaking sweet.
Yeah, totally send us some or like links.
Yeah, send me some links.
I don't think
you
you can necessarily shoot the Tittman underwater because that would do nothing good.
No,
it would be like.
Well, that and if you opened up all the valves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You would expose it to high pressure air and water, which could, like I said, for the other, like, it would cause O-rings to fail and stuff like that, and you don't want that to happen.
Oh
also,
my God.
To be fair, if you're going swimming with it, if you're going swimming with it, you might have problems with lubrication, which might cause your weapons to seize up too. So just be aware of that. Like,
but I mean,
they're not made to get wet like a real firearm can get wet.
I'm assuming you're not going on like a 6-hour swim and all this. You're going to like dip in a pond and go across for a bit or something. You can easily do maintenance afterwards too.
Yeah, which is cool though. That's a cool game if you can like pop out of the water like the Kool-Aid Man.
Send us
and,
like
if
you get like GoPro footage or like
put a link in like one of the
other videos. There's like a link
videos
to the game. Let us see it. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
to see.
I would love to see that.
X Ever Ready X. Hey guys, couple of questions. We'll just go down the line. Number one, loving the new LBX 0300S and mini map, but with the plate carrier sized correctly, my backplate is being pulled down. Currently, I have a 45 3000 tank and accessories like buddy mags, smoke, in the pack.
That's why.
How do I weight the front plate so I'm not sagging in the back? On my front plate, I have 3 double stack M4 pouches. So basically, you got too much on your back and not enough on your front.
You need to get an actual weighted plate to put in the plate bag of your plate carrier.
Well, let's start from the base of the problem. If it is, I'm assuming you're good. Go back, check our Plug Pro on how to size a plate carrier, get one of your buddies, get the plate carrier fitted properly, then start adding your weight and stuff to it. So right there will solve some of it. Easiest thing you could do is maybe look at switching your fake plates out. Get like a training plate in the front.
Yeah, you might have to get like an actual like Team Windy weighted like
the SNS is pretty good.
Or an SNS weighted training plate that have actual weight to them.
And then
because then that'll counterbalance because you have, it sounds like, about 10 pounds worth of crap on your back, and then you probably have like 3 pounds worth of stuff on the front. And it's just that's just what it's gonna do. It doesn't matter how tight it is on your body, it's just gonna slide.
Yep.
So you need to put weight on the front plate bag so that it'll balance things out. And the easiest way to do that is to get an actual weighted training plate.
Yeah.
Put it in there and it'll counterbalance everything and even it all back out.
And then on the back, get either the LBX or the PTS,
just the foam one.
Foam plates, because that will be much more comfortable for you because it's basically a big padding on your back, which would be nice in the long run, especially with the tank and all that weight. That'll be nice and comfortable, and it'll be light. It'll be the lightest thing you can put in there that will hold shape.
Yeah.
So that should help you out.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Besides running like 20 mags.
You need to get a weighted plate. Sorry, man.
Put weights in your mags.
Or you can take a fake plate that's hollow and fill it up with sand or something and make it heavy.
And 2, he's going to Caspian Gap as Cossack.
I'm sorry, I might have to shoot you.
He's been picked by his friends to be their fire team leader. I know MSW treats radios and communications differently than other event runners. What tips can you give to an MSW rookie to not sound like a scrub? Thanks, love the show. # there's Anthony.
Hello. All right, so what I would say...
Hello.
Howdy. What I would say is, first of all, radio use is going to be at the discretion of whatever your CO says for that event. So to be honest with you, whatever I tell you might be different. But as a generality, understand that fire team leaders, squad leaders, next level up, and then platoon sergeants, platoon leaders, and then company level leadership are the only ones on a radio. If you are just a regular pleb in a regular squad and you get on a radio, I'm going to take your battery. If you talk a lot when you're not, basically as a fire team leader, unless you have something that's absolutely like life-changing to tell me, don't ever talk on your radio. Because you shouldn't be straying too far from your other fire team that's in your squad, and your squad leader should not be straying too far away from the other elements of the platoon.
Yep.
So really the only people that need to be on the radios are squad leaders, platoon leaders and platoon sergeants, and the company level HQ.
Yep.
As a team leader, it would probably be best if you just listen, confirm that you heard something, and then just stay off the radio, because you shouldn't be very far from your other fire team leader and your squad leader.
If you're a fire team leader, your job is 97% to listen.
Yep.
That's it. To be fair, it's pretty easy. If you're a fire team leader, you just gotta make sure you're in good with your squad leader, and then just
make sure you never lose your 5 guys.
Yeah. Because literally you're just babysitting those couple guys, making sure they stay together and they're good.
Life lesson. If you're in charge of any type of military type thing or at an airsoft game, the most important thing that you can have is accountability of all your people. Always know where all your people are at and never let anybody get separated or wander off. That is because that's where people get hurt, is when they're away from the group and no one knows where they're at, and then they get hurt, and then that's when people can potentially get seriously injured or killed.
Yep.
Is when no one knows where they're at and they don't know how to help them. So the best thing to do, listen on the radio and then keep track of your guys. That's it.
Next thing I can tell you is that in the next week or so, we're going to be shooting a Pleb to Pro how-to comms/radio.
Radio etiquette.
We're thinking we're going to do it as a 2-part. Dom actually came to us with this idea. There are ants everywhere. We're going to do it as a 2-part. First part is going to be us showing just all of our setups. So you can kind of get a general feel of simple to complicated. His is simple. He just has the radio. Dom's is complicated. He's got reroute kits, contacts, all that stuff. So we're going to kind of show you the full range. And then the second one, he's going to tell you how to talk on a radio and then tell you not how to talk on a radio. Which would be very helpful.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do that too. Feyenoord 2807. Hi guys, I live in Holland. I hope I pronunciated that.
I would assume with Nord.
Feyenoord. It's a really baller sounding name, actually. Sarcasm aside.
It's organic.
And most of the gear I like is in the USA. Is made in the USA. Sorry, I'm kind of having a moment. Like
it's
Ronin.
in 14 font for a reason.
Ronin Tactics, Faro Concepts, KAC, etc., etc. So it already cost me a shitload of money just for shipping, but no regrets worth it. I would like it when more people start with an impression kit here in Holland, because most guys just buy the cheapest crappy gear available, so it doesn't look very real. It isn't, I know, but it just looks a bit retarded. Ouch. Some American brands won't ship their products to Holland. Can you tell me why they don't? Okay, so we're going to start with the impression kits thing. If you really want more people to start upping their game on terms of their kit, what you really need to do is you need to start grouping together with big groups of people, because nothing impresses upon people more about looking professional is when more and more people start looking professional. People don't want to be embarrassed standing next to someone who looks like they know what the fuck they're doing.
Airsoft's not about being good, it's about looking good.
It's about looking good. So if you really want to get people to start buying good stuff and upping their level of play and all that stuff, be about it. Group up with other dudes that think like you. Go to events and be nice and explain to people why you use the things you use. And the big thing is people who convert over to buying good gear never look back. That's the funny part, is that once they realize they can buy one really nice thing and it lasts them forever, they love it. Now,
or even if they do look back, you can still get your money back because they hold most good stuff retains value.
Resale value. Now, on brands not shipping their products to Holland. In America, we have it's called ITAR, and it's international. It's okay. I don't know the acronym. We'll probably throw it up on the bottom of the screen. But basically what it is, ITAR are a set of regulations that limit personal people or companies from selling things that are of militaristic nature, like ballistic products, firearms parts, stuff like that, to entities outside of the continental United States.
Mm-hmm.
So even let's say unless you have a dealer for it who's already in a country like Canada, you can't ship a ballistic ops core as a civilian to a guy in Canada. you can't do it. It's a foreign country, and that's against ITAR regulations for shipping military gear and equipment outside of the country. So some companies, instead of paying to get licensing and stuff to do that type of stuff, then they just save money and just say no. Maybe they're too small. Maybe they just don't want to deal with the hassle. Maybe they don't want to spend the time to get an exclusive distributor in your country. Mm-hmm. But basically, there's a whole bunch of reasons why not to do it. But the big reason is that, it might be a restricted item that they just don't feel like going through all the steps to make sure that it can be shipped.
It could also be your country doesn't allow those
or
things
your country
in.
doesn't allow it, and that's why they won't ship it. But either way, in America, they have the ITAR regulations on our side to keep us from shipping things. So, like, for example, firearms parts. Like, I can't ship you a bolt out of an AR-15. Even though it's not a functioning AR-15, I can't ship you a bolt because that's ITAR regulated and restricted. Like I said, I feel really dumb for not knowing the
it's brain fart time.
The acronym right now, and I'm sure I'll remember it when we get done recording it. But we'll throw it up at the bottom of the screen. But that's why.
CAS inbound. Have you guys had any experience
Close air support, bro.
No. I thought it was going to be CAS inbound.
CAS. It's CAS inbound.
With the Osprey Mark IV plate carriers. Currently have a set of British MTP, and I'm having trouble finding any plate carriers that don't look like total garbage as a result of the basic multicam pattern.
Basically,
the Osprey.
I've seen them before. I've never worn one. From people that I know who own them, they like them. My biggest thing with them is that everything that they sell is really big.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically they sell something that's like a
paraclete sizing.
Well, no, yeah, kinda. Well, they sell something that's like the RRV from Eagle, but it's like massive. Like, the chest piece on it is like this big. So it's like you could put 6 mags across just your chest, and then you could put 15 more. Like, it's just all big. But I know guys who've owned stuff from them and they like it. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. I went to their site though. It looks cool. A lot of their stuff looks cool.
I never looked into British stuff that too much.
I think it's because it's almost too easy to get, even in America, compared to other countries. I'm just not interested in it.
I know there's a lot of dudes that hunt a lot of stuff down. A lot of the Ballahat guys.
A lot of Ballahat guys do British kit loadouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's a lot easier to get than it's even easier to get British DPM and stuff like that in America than it is to get CAD-PAT from Canada. So there's a reason. For me, it's not exclusive enough to where I feel cool. So I just don't care. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trickster on PC. Sorry, I don't internet speak. Hey, Amped, I was wonder if you could maybe do a pleb to pro on maintenance and lubrication of gas blowbacks and gas blowback pistols, or maybe a quick rundown in the show. I asked this because I picked up a KMP9 and don't know if I got all the parts I'm supposed to lube and how frequently I should clean and lube it. P.S. I love you guys. Basically treat it like a real firearm, but we should probably work a pleb to pro in on that. But because it's good clickbait. But basically
sunk into that level.
Basically, short story. You want to lubricate all the moving parts, so anything that moves, you're going to put a little bit of lube on. Don't over lube it, and you're going to clean it and re-lube it pretty much every time you use it. You're going to treat it like a real firearm. That's your best. Also, what you should do is keep your parts listing in case you have any O-rings go bad or anything like that, or any parts break, so that you can buy replacement parts for it.
Or if you did lose it, most reputable brands have blow-up diagrams on their website, so you can just check for those.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
But we can probably do that more in depth later on a different video. What's up, guys? I really don't have much to bitch about today. It's pretty cool, right? Let's talk about some stuff I like instead. So, lately I've been going to a lot of Mills and West events, and I'm starting to see the overall player quality improve. Very proud of you guys. You're getting your sustainment gear down, you're getting the right types of rigs, everyone's making sure their stuff's working. In Ohio, I was especially impressed. We only lost one guy, and that's because he got his tooth shot out. So, props to all you guys. Other than that, I don't got shit to bitch about today, so have a good day, guys. See you later. Bye. 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 my God. Everything I do it for the squad. I'm like, oh God.
Jeffrey Pierce. Hey, Amped Crew. Just want to say, long-time watcher of the show, first-time poster. Aw.
You should come by sooner. I generally aren't that mean.
Not that big of dicks. Question and quality and answers that you give are so great, I've never needed to post until now. Okay, so we've hit all of his answers. I know the upgrades you would put into a normal Crytek CRB based on previous episodes, but what would you recommend on the CRB Mark II? I have it pre-ordered. I know out of the box they shoot great and don't need much, but I want to upgrade it once and never have to touch it again. Thanks again, guys. Love the show. P.S. Bringing back banana pants. He's
literally right there.
Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't say anything yet because we haven't actually tested them.
They should be coming
very soon.
Like, by the time you see this, they'll either have just arrived at the shop or probably within the next week arrive at the shop. Basically, like, overall, the current Crytacs and the new upgraded Crytacs are going to be very, very similar internally. My thing with the Crytacs are I would definitely replace the barrel, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you want to go full tilt, the thing is that their hop-up's a little bit, it has a built-in nub, and it works pretty well with its bucking. And if you want to replace the bucking or anything like that, you might as well replace the entire hop-up.
Yeah.
And just do it all in one shot. I would recommend the Retro Arms hop-up personally because I have seen zero fitment issues with the Retro Arms hop-up in my gun. But basically, refer to the previous episode where I just basically lay out all the crap I use in mine.
Yeah.
But that would be about it because especially as an AEG, as long as you're not really doing really dumb things with it, the Crytek stock mechanically are very sound. They're very sound. That's right now one of my go-to M4 brands when I'm recommending someone an M4. I'm like, just get that because you really don't have you can take it out of the box stock and be completely okay with its performance for a long time. And then if you really want to push it a little further, throw a barrel in it. And then if you really want to go all out, just do a hop-up build, but just leave everything else the same.
Yeah.
The motors in them are actually pretty solid.
I love the motors in the Crytek.
They're really snappy. The MOSFET keeps them from flying apart.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, man, that's all I would do. Keep it simple, man. All right, Hunter Bruce, Dear Amp, what is your opinion? Should be the best loadout kit to run as a saw gunner for NATO at MSW. I plan to run an M249 AEG, so no tank to worry about, because hashtag ain't nobody got time for that. Here's what I would say. What I would do.
Naked.
Okay. What I would do, if you really want me to be real, if you want to go really hardcore, carry an extra gearbox and motor just in case you break your stuff, and then carry a small toolkit to be able to take apart your gun. You don't need to carry a whole extra gun, but if you carry just an extra set of internals and just put them in a baggie in your ruck, you should be more than fine.
Yeah.
What I would say for everybody is to run a chest rig to keep your life really simple. I would also, as a saw gunner, you can probably put all of your ammo allotment in whatever box mag you have, but to get a saw pouch and buy an extra box mag in case your box mag breaks.
Yeah.
Because you can't use manual winding mags like a high cap at MSW. You have to use the appropriate box mag that would be used on that actual weapon platform.
Yeah.
So so if you're gonna use, you can't just stuck a high cap in there like you can you can't do it. So what I would suggest is just get one extra box mag, keep it brand new, and don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Or make sure that if it's a one you already have, go through it and make sure that it's prim and proper and everything works on it really well, and then just keep it in a saw pouch on a Molly chest rig, and then put all your regular sustainment gear on your chest rig, and then just food and snacks and batteries and crap like that. And that's what I would run.
Remember, keep
it light and simple.
If you're a support gunner, maybe even look away from a chest rig and look at
or an H harness,
or something, and just literally get stuff on your hips and your sides, because you're probably gonna be laying down a lot. Because if you do it properly, your job is to lay down a base of fire, so your job is to get the best cover you can and hose shit until dudes can move up, and then you move up and then keep doing it. So generally, you're not in that big of an assault thing, so you want to be as comfortable.
The biggest thing for AEGs that I tell people
is
just to bring extra parts. So if you have an M4, bring an extra lower.
Yeah.
And then maybe an extra hop-up rubber in a baggie. And then some simple tools to push your lowers apart and slide them back together. Same thing with your saw. Bring some simple tools and bring an extra saw gearbox motor that's all already connected and all that stuff, so you can literally just drop it in if your one you have takes a dump. and then grab some hop-up rubbers and stuff like that, and then just put it in a baggie, and then keep it on your chest rig or your H harness or whatever you're going to run. But something simple and light.
I grabbed 2.
It's okay. Simple and light, man. Simple and light. Trust me. For your first one. Once you get the lay of the game, you can run all the ridiculous kit you want. But I want everybody on their first game to show up with a chest rig, just so that way they don't keep cat out.
Just to get your shit straight.
Yeah, just so you figure it out.
OP
Then after that,
again.
run whatever you want.
Hey guys, love the show. So what is the ITAR regulation?
There you go. We already answered.
Refer to previous question.
Good. I'm glad that
It's
came
like
up
good
twice.
timing right there.
I'm glad that came up twice.
NEPA Airsoft, a little bit. Any experience with the True Hop high performance buckings? Hearing some good things about them. Those are those ones we just.
That's the one that
right?
Robbie. That's the one Robbie was using.
It is interesting. It's basically like
We're
cheating
trying
at an R-hop kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like a way to kind of get something similar to an R-hop, but not make an R-hop.
Yeah.
We're trying it out.
We've only had it installed in one gun. It was.
We have to try it out more because, like,
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what my performance expectations with something like that are.
Yeah.
So, I think what we'll have to do is like compare it to a gun that's not using that stuff with just stock parts and kind of just see how they compare to really give you a good answer on that. But we have them. They should be on our website if they aren't already, or they should be soon.
Last I checked, they're pretty well priced. I think is the selling point on those.
Yeah, they're cheap. They come with a little plastic nub that you glue on to your hop-up arm.
Yeah.
And then they come with a R-hop style looking bucking. So, to be honest with you, I don't have much experience with it though. They're like super. Oh, okay. All right. Slow riding 73B. Hey Amped, I love the series and I've always enjoyed having you at games I've been to. If anyone remembers Op Lightning Strike a few years ago at the detention center in Delaware, I bought you ice cream. Oh, you're the dude that brought me the ice cream? Oh man, you're super sweet. They went on the night before the game. They were like people were exploring around the facility, right?
Yeah.
They came across like somebody's office. That's our buddy. He's leaving. They went to the office and they found someone's like mini fridge or like the office like break room fridge, and it had like a gallon drum of like Neapolitan ice cream, and I was just like, they're like, here you go, man. I'm just like, I ate like half of that.
Stole you ice cream?
Yeah, he just was like, I found this, you want some? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want some. And I got so sick, I ate so much of it. Like, it was so bad. Let's see here. I've been to a few Line Claws events, and I'm always disappointed in the squad leadership. Mostly people who have no idea how to organize and be decisive, or fail to include players who aren't a part of their team. That's just people being turds. This usually results in me getting frustrated, as I feel like my entrance fee was paying for me to follow people around who needed more training to do their job effectively, which I get for free in the Navy. Ow!
There you go.
Sick burn. Although these are good guys, I really think it can ruin the events for a lot of people, and I would like to see a better selection process for events that are costing me leave time and a decent amount of money. What are your experiences or thoughts? Hope to see you at Irene again this year. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to be real honest with you. We do not do Lion Claws events anymore.
He must have missed the hubbub.
Luckily, he missed the hubbub. But if you really want to find out more about that, you can, like private message us or whatever. I don't feel like going over it on this show.
We've moved past it. So.
I've moved past it. But okay, so
yeah, let's take the
big
pronouns out of this and focus on his generic problem.
So the big thing is you're having problems with people being put in leadership positions. The big thing with a lot of ops is that it's all volunteer.
It's also a lot of dudes
like basically
who
people just step up and they go, I want to be a squad leader for my squad, and they're like, okay, you're a squad leader. Or conversely, someone is like the team leader, like the overall team leader. I say team because it's not really, typically it's not an actual company because it doesn't have a real command structure.
Yeah.
But it's something like that. And so then like, you know, they put their friends in charge of squads, and then like it becomes super bro, and then they tend to exclude people because, you know, you're not in the in crowd, which is also bullshit. There's only like AMS is a little bit more selective about who they let in as squad leaders. I know, like I think you have to sign up and actually like put your real name down and let everyone know that that's what you're gonna do, so that way they can be held accountable when they screw up. Milsim West, the big thing that fixes that is that they put veterans in every platoon that work for the company, like myself, And then what we do is we watch all of the squad leaders and the platoon leaders, and when they screw up, I yell at them.
It's professional cat herding.
It's basically professional cat herding. For the dudes at AOV that I yelled at, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
But you triggered me, and I had to yell. I had to yell to keep from turning people's faces inside out.
The biggest thing is that it's Airsoft, and unless it is like MSW where chain of command does kind of affect things, a lot of the other events it is more of just a like for show structure sort of.
Yeah.
Just like be the dude that helps dudes out. Like
actually,
I know you're
military, so you know what you should do actually.
Just
volunteer to be a squad leader.
Or if you just happen to go and like a dude is 8 up, just take over. Like
yeah, just take over. Be like,
dudes will
literally just look at him and be like, look, I'm military. I'm not like special forces or whatever. Maybe you are, but you could just be like, look, I'm not an asshole. Let me do this. I'll help you.
Yeah, people will naturally follow good leadership as opposed to someone who just claims they're good.
If you have to tell people you're good at being a leader, you're not.
It's the easiest thing is be about it, don't talk, or
act about it, don't talk about it.
Yeah, whatever that statement, but yeah, that's your biggest course of action.
Though I do agree it should be a little more selective.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies literally are just like, whatever, you already paid, I got your money. We don't really care how the game goes once it starts going, as long as people don't get hurt, get in fights. We don't care who wins and loses, and we don't care about the leadership structure.
The big thing is that a lot of people, it's a self-importance thing too. They're like, oh, I've been going to these games for this long. I need to be in command, so I don't have to actually do a lot of things and blah blah. There's all sorts of Airsoft political drama bullshit to a lot of it too. So
it's just weird. Just I suggest you volunteer.
The biggest thing I can tell you is, and I did this years ago. I'm pretty sure all of us did. Is just don't let that shit ruin your game.
Grab the dudes. The dudes in your squad that want to go actually do stuff the right way and go do it.
Make sure that you're not ruining anybody else's game because they paid the same amount of money, and then just have your own fun. Do it. You paid. Make sure you're not interfering with anybody else's jive, and then do your thing.
I mean, I've said that before, at different episodes, but I think that's like the last episode, the one that you commented
obviously
on.
Within all the rules and regulations, that doesn't need stated, but
act about it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that since you're military, me and you were on the same page. You get it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just time that you kind of assert a little bit. I know you're trying not to because you do it every day and you deal with that type of like mentality every day. Maybe you're just trying to like let it be fun, but like maybe just 5 to 10% of it, just kind of wedge it in there, and maybe you'll see a lot better results. Because I used to not like try to run around and be in charge of shit either at Airsoft games because I was prior service and I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. But if you put just enough of it in, you'll get a lot more out of it.
Eric M., in your opinion, what upgrades, both internal and external, would you guys recommend for CQB and outdoor games like TRP? He's a local guy.
All right.
By the way, thanks, Matt, for helping me out when purchasing my first gun. You'll have my business for the rest of my BBwarz life.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I think BBwarz lives have like a half-life.
I think they're only like 6 years long, but
most people max it about a decade.
Most people max out within like.
In retrospect, we're old, dying 100-year-old geezers in this spobby.
Hashtag spobby.
I'm assuming you have an HPA or
no,
AG.
just say AG. Yeah.
Easiest thing I can tell everybody
barrel
is
and hops, man.
Barrel
hop ups and rubbers.
Yeah, do a barrel because if you do a really good build, you'll sink about 100 or so into it, because if you get a really nice barrel,
really high-end barrels with a really good
nice
hop up, rubber bucking, and a rubber nub,
about 100,
all put together, probably like
130.
with some of the nicest barrels are pushing like $130, right around there, all complete.
But the thing is, like, even if your gun shits the bed down the road, and obviously since it's brand new, it probably won't for a while, the only thing that will really wear out in the hop-up is your rubber and maybe the nub. The hop-up and barrel, if you take care of them, are probably going to last a long time. So you can carry that across the different guns when you upgrade, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but that's all I would do.
But
simple.
That and, keep your gun light and put on whatever you want. Like if you want a scope or a grip.
Yeah, but just internal upgrades.
Yeah.
External's purely preference. The only external upgrade that I tell people that they need to put on their rifle, the only upgrade that actually changes the function of a rifle is a flashlight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like a flashlight definitely for CQB.
Because with a flashlight, it's an illumination tool that allows you to search and inspect things, as well as uses it to illuminate targets. So a flashlight is the only firearm accessory that actually fundamentally changes what the firearm does.
Yep.
Because a suppressor on a real firearm still lets it shoot bullets, it just shoots bullets quiet. A sight helps you shoot bullets. A flashlight actually adds a function to a weapon that did not previously exist. It becomes a tool to inspect and look at things.
Yeah.
So a flashlight. That's the most important external upgrade, is a flashlight. Because then, in a CQB environment, you can light it up, stun your enemies by blasting with a huge lumens, and they'll just be like, and then you can shoot them. And it also helps you track where your BBs are going, which is very nice, especially if you're shooting really
Like a
fast.
backwards tracer.
It's like a backwards tracer. Yeah, super nice. Chosen Few 173rd. What was your MOS, Anthony? I've answered this before.
Oh, did he call you out?
And man, dudes do it all the time. I don't really fucking care. I was both an MP and I was a truck driver. I was not like special forces or anything like that. I never claimed to be because, to be fair, that sounds like it kind of sucks. I like being a pogue and getting 3 hots and a cot every day.
There it is.
Like, dudes are like, I'm infantry, and I'm just like, hey man.
How many times did you live in a mud hole this week?
I was like, how many months do you live in dirt? Guess what? I live in a truck. It's got a tarp. I can lay down. It's great. Come to the pogue side.
Our bunker has AC.
My bunker had AC. We have cookies and ice cream. Everyone should be a pogue. No one should make fun of pogues because pogues have it great. Like,
You left a lot of comments in here. I'm not letting you edit these anymore. You left just comments.
Hey, I just took all the ones that weren't like
Spurgy.
Yeah, so
Bang
like,
bang. I live in I'm assuming Massachusetts, where you need to take a training class, then file a paper, pay a ridiculous fee, and wait 3 months. So yeah, my Second Amendment is pretty violated. Well, just some insight on us commie states, Anthony. It's not that easy.
So I said, if you don't live in one of the free states last week, I did
There's
say
not
that.
50 free states. There's only a handful.
Yeah, we live, Ohio, Pennsylvania, states like Arizona, Texas, Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky's
Nevada.
amazing. No, Nevada has a lot of regulations, actually.
I thought it was Nevada because that's where Tom was.
No, he's in Utah.
No, Utah. That's what I meant.
Utah.
Not Nevada.
Those are what I consider the patron states of shooting shit. Because,
yeah.
Kentucky has wonderful gun laws. And the funny thing is because of other things that have nothing to do
We
with
don't
guns.
have gun laws.
Fun fact, we can get into this all over Twitter and whatever, but just so you know, gun crime is not caused by guns, it's caused by other socioeconomic problems that are not addressed. So if you have a problem with gun crime, the gun is just an inanimate object, and we can all agree with that, right? Because I believe almost everyone who's watching the show is in some form pro Second Amendment.
Not at all.
So it's in communities where they fail to meet these 3 very main things that gun crime happens. I'm not going to get into it here because that's not what this is for.
We're
But
running out of time
I
on that
said I basically said, I was like, unless you live in one of the shitty states. That's what my comment was in the last
What up, Rob Dog?
Banana Pants sighting.
Almost banana pants.
Was that you or me? You? Let's doing it.
Make it a quickie.
Hussein Behinderwaller. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. How do you guys make sure your helmet camo netting does not interfere with the camera? I use a Sony Action Cam mounted to the side of my helmet with Velcro, and it's completely, Jesus Christ, reps everywhere. It's completely ruined all my footage from Hot Broken Dagger. Also, what keeps me in Airsoft is the rebellious feeling I get when I go airsofting, even though my fiance...
Thumbs up!
Even though my fiance hates it. #whip. Basically, what we do is we trim the netting around the camera so it doesn't flop up in front of the lens.
Yeah, the camera sticks up out of the
Do
netting,
another one.
So. Feta Murphy, I have a Cold Steel Recon Tonto training knife, but can't find anywhere to put it. I know Vism Tactical used to make custom Kydex sheaths for them, but they seem to be gone. Any suggestions? I don't carry fake knives.
I don't carry fake knives either, man. I'm sorry.
Just strap it on your shoulder like a real badass.
I'm really not cool with people, hitting me with things at games. I'm really not cool with that. I don't put hands on other people, and I don't like people hitting me with things.
Probably bad if you touched other people.
It triggers the crap out of me.
The safe space violations are very...
Not even about safe space. It literally kicks in an instinct for me to want to throat chop you. Don't do it.
I mean, not sadly, but I don't really get into knife stuff, so we're not your point of expertise on that one. Yeah, our bad.
Man. Eli Ken, I asked this on 49, but I'm not sure it got to you. What is the spoon I see people put on their molly webbing for? All right, this is an old military thing. We jokingly keep
It's a spoon.
a spoon on us all the time for a couple reasons. It's called a combat spoon. We throw it in our molly, one, because sometimes MREs don't come with all the parts you need to eat them. So sometimes you just don't get a spoon, or it's broken, so you need to have an extra spoon. And then two, it goes back to magnetically tripped mines. So what guys used to do, especially in Vietnam and in like, they still kept doing it in Desert Storm, and some of the old guys trained us newer guys at the time. Now I'm considered one of the old guys.
Yeah.
To keep an extra spoon on you and keep it sharpened to a point. And then, well, what you would do is you'd use it to come in at a 45-degree angle and probe the sand or the dirt to look for landmines. And since it's plastic, it won't set off the mine. And if you hit something with it, you carefully dig around it using the spoon part.
Yeah.
Because it's plastic, and it won't set off the mine. And then you can find out whether you're poking at a landmine or not. That's actually what it was used for.
I just carry one in all of my gear for snacks.
Yeah, I carry them for snacks because I don't do that shit anymore.
I posted a photo of like my plate carrier on Instagram like months ago, and some dude was like, "You're disrespecting the military by having a spoon on there that you don't use, you stupid airsofter." I was like, bro,
I eat with it.
I go to 40-hour games. I have to eat at some point, and I use that spoon.
I eat mountain houses.
Sorry, bro.
Mountain houses don't come with spoons. I always have an extra spoon.
I use that spoon more than like the crap on my like BBwarz kit.
Yeah, actually, I use that spoon a lot more than half the stuff I carry with me.
And I'm sad because that's like spoon number 3. I've had 2 of them shot out already.
Yeah, usually they get shot and shattered. I'm just
it's like the ones on my plate carriers. I look down and it's like the spoon's missing or like that snaps off. I'm like, this sucks. I need to get a metal one.
Yeah,
because I'm not probing mines.
We're not probing mines, but that's what that comes from, actually. So if you want to do like grunt kit, circa mid 2000s and earlier, like for the U.S., you want to be like super authentic. Put a D-ring on your shit somewhere, a 10mm wrench, and then a plastic spoon, a brown plastic MRE spoon. Because then use the 10mm wrench to fix 90% of the parts on a Humvee or a 5-ton. You need the D-ring because D-rings are useful. You could hook things to it. And then the spoon just because it's just a spoon. Like I just said, it's a spoon.
Ethan Hitman Blaze Ops. Well, I guess I worded my question wrong about the cummerbund, but got an answer anyway. Didn't want more Molly, just wanted some because the Pharaoh doesn't have any. Okay.
Yeah, get the pig over
we
Molly
probably
things.
Muttered on enough about that one.
Yeah.
How do you guys think a fusion engine compares to the ProTech Mark II, and when can we expect a review of the Mark II? I'll go backwards on that one. We're waiting on the next batch of them to come back in stock, and we've had ours for about a year. About a year, actually.
Yeah, about a year.
So that's roughly kind of the time when we do like our in-depth, actual Honest Guys reviews of it. We ran it enough, so roughly soon. But in that sense, usually 90% of the time, the Fusion engine will eventually outdo the Mark II if you put the time and tuning and parts into it.
Tuning parts. I say that. I've said that thousands of times.
Because the Fusion engine is more complex.
So dual solenoids control separate poppet and nozzles that you can individually fine-tune all their functions.
Yeah.
Fusion engine with the right tuning and all that stuff will eventually win. Matt Kirkpatrick. This is probably something that gets asked a lot, and it's not a barrel question. Barrel questions are whatever. But I'm trying to scratch an itch that I've had for many years of playing Airsoft, and that itch is finding an Airsoft gun that would give me the realism and recoil of something like a gas blowback without the hassle of running $50 40-round mags like an LM4, which I own, and dealing with cooldown. I guess what I'm wondering is whether I should buy a Tippmann M4 or, which I think would be way different, a Daytona gun kit and an A&K Mark 46. I don't mind messing with the Daytona gun or Tippmann to make them perform. My only problem is actually finding the kit. What are your thoughts on this? Personally, bang for your buck, easy playability, I would go with the Tippmann. Daytona guns take a lot of tuning and hard work to kind of get like dialed in. And
Mark 46 would be hot though.
And if you're willing to do that, that's fine. But if you want something that's just like, just a few simple mods and then you can just go, Tippmann.
With great customer support.
Great customer support. Problem with the Daytona gun is a lot of their distributorships have changed hands recently, so it's going to be hard to get aftermarket support, and it's going to be hard to find kits.
If you're in the States, it's going to be a little more difficult because our hemisphere, or at least the North American distributor has moved to Canada, so I don't know.
Jake Rally 2, Breaking Bad 2 hype. Yeah, we're going to be there. I'm trying to knock out a couple small ones.
Damn, bro, this episode's gonna be like a Disney movie.
Caleb Christensen, can you please have Stu back so we can talk Rust 4 for those of us that don't suck the cream-filled banana of NATO? Hashtag innuendo. Hashtag more Stu. Stu's coming back tomorrow.
Just did a video on him.
Well, they haven't seen him. He's just been gone that whole time. One more short one.
I mean, we might get a video or two out of him, then he goes back to school, so.
Yeah, he's going to be one of school. Tommy Harrison, guys. M4 or AK, which one do you prefer? M4. Clickbait.
M4.
M4. Sorry, man. Hilarious CSGO vids. Anthony, what's your job at MSW? I'm a cadre. There you go. Look up what the cadre are on their website.
This is awful. I quit.
There you go. I just knocked out a bunch of really short questions because we
yeah.
really took way too long to do the ones we did. And I'm sorry. All the people who are in here, I'm sorry you lost.
But the ones who got answered got really good answers.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for stopping by and asking questions. Contrary to popular belief, I do actually go through and read all of your questions on all of our videos just to see what's going on and see what you guys think. I appreciate the positive feedback, and I also appreciate feedback that is constructive criticism, as long as you're not being a dick. Like, I appreciate that as well, so thanks for that. If you guys have pertinent questions that don't make it on the show, typically I'll go through and try to answer a couple of them that I think are actually really important. But either way, thank you for taking part in this. I don't think we say it enough, maybe, I don't know, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, me too.
So
everybody at the store does as well. Like, if you really look at it, this is a hobby, and we all get to do. Yeah, it's Spobby.
Spobby. Hashtag Spobby.
We love helping you guys get to buy all your BBwarz stuff.
I mean, thank you, because you helped me pay rent, so I appreciate it. But anyways, if you have questions, submit them down below in the doobly-doo.
Yep.
If you have actual dire need questions, feel free to message our social media accounts, preferably Facebook. That's a place where we pick up most of the question answer stuff. Or at least we can direct you in the right direction to people who can better answer your question. But thanks for stopping by. Ask questions. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep. See ya.